Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are teeing it up at a place that, honestly, might just be my favorite stop on the entire PGA Tour schedule.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the 2026 Genesis Invitational. And look, I know we throw the word iconic around a lot, but Riviera Country Club, I mean, the eucalyptus trees, the Hollywood history, that weird sticky grass,
Yeah.
it actually fits.
It really does. It's one of the few places that truly lives up to the hype. But today our job is to look past all that, right? Past the glamour.
Right.
We have a massive stack of research here. Betting previews, course analytics, historical data, and the mission is pretty clear. We're trying to build a statistical blueprint for a winner.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We want to move past just the vibes and get into the actual math. Because the drone shots of the Pacific Palisades are great, but they don't help you fill out a daily fantasy lineup.
Not at all.
But before we get to the numbers, we have to deal with a pretty massive elephant in the room regarding the schedule.
Yeah, this is probably the most important piece of context for the entire week. If you're a casual fan, you might not remember, but the 2025 Genesis it was an anomaly.
A complete anomaly.
Because of those terrible wildfires in California, they had to move the whole tournament down the coast to Torrey Pines.
Which is a totally different animal.
Completely. Ludwig Aberg won, and he played some incredible golf, but for what we're doing today, for our deep dive, you almost have to just cross that whole year out.
So if I'm looking at a last 5 winners list, and I see Aberg stats from last year, I'm looking at bad data.
It's worse than bad data, it's misleading data. Torrey Pines and Riviera ask completely different questions of a golfer. So our analysis, all the research, it emphasizes a data reset.
A data reset, I like that.
Yeah, we're looking back to 2024 when Hideki Matsuyama won, and all the years before that, we're trying to rediscover the Riviera formula.
Okay, that's a crucial distinction. We're wiping the hard drive of last year. So let's build that formula from scratch, and I think we have to start with the venue itself. Riviera. George C. Thomas design, 1926. It gets called a pure test. Is that just, broadcaster speak, or does it actually mean something?
Oh, it actually means something here. They call it Hogan's Alley for a reason. Ben Hogan was just a surgeon around this place, and that nickname, it's a hint. Riviera hates fakers.
Fakers, as in guys who are just getting lucky for a week.
Exactly. On some of these modern resort courses, you can spray it off the tee, find it, wedge it on from a bad angle, and just get hot with the putter.
You can fake your way to a 68.
You can. You can't do that at Riviera. It's a par 71 over 7,300 yards, but its defense isn't the length, it's the angles. It's all about positioning.
And the grass. We have to talk about the grass because Kikuyu feels like the word of the week every single year. For someone listening who plays on normal grass, why is Kikuyu such a nightmare?
It's just a totally different beast. Kikuyu it's spongy, it's sticky. Think of it like Velcro.
Okay.
So in the fairway, the ball doesn't roll out much. But the real problem is the rough. Because the grass is so sticky, it grabs the hosel of the club.
So it twists the club face shut on you.
Exactly. You're trying to hit a straight shot, the grass grabs the club, and bam, you've hooked it 20 yards left. The lies are just so unpredictable. The ball could be sitting up perfectly or buried so deep you can't even see it.
And then if you get out of that, you're on Poa Annua greens.
Right, which brings its own set of problems. You always hear players complaining about the afternoon bumps. West Coast Poa is famous for being temperamental. In the morning, they're pure. But by 4 p.m., after the grass has grown a bit and 100 guys have walked all over it, it looks like broccoli.
So the ball is literally bouncing on its way to the hole.
It's bouncing. You can hit a perfect putt, start it on the perfect line, and it just wiggles offline at the very end. And the greens are small, too, smaller than the tour average.
So you have sticky, rough, unpredictable lies and small, bumpy targets.
That's the trifecta.
There's a quote in our research from Johnny Miller that I think just nails it. He said, "Riviera is definitely one of the greatest no-nonsense golf courses in the world. It requires a player to play every club in his bag."
And that's the key. You have to fade it, draw it, hit it high, hit it low. I mean, just take the 10th hole. We have to talk about number 10.
The short par 4. It's iconic.
Maybe the best in the world. It's about 300 yards. Everyone in the field can get there with a driver. It looks so easy.
But it's not.
It's not. The green is angled so skinny. It's like landing a plane on an aircraft carrier. And the bunkers are so deep. If you miss your angle by just a little, you are absolutely dead. You'll see guys make eagle there, and you'll see guys make double bogey.
It can swing the whole tournament.
In 10 minutes.
So we've established Riviera as a beast. Let's go back to that data reset idea. You said Torrey Pines rewards a different style. Break that down. If Torrey's a sledgehammer, what's Riviera?
Riviera is a scalpel. Torrey Pine South is a monster. It rewards raw power, bomb and gouge. That's why Ludwig was so good there. He's a machine off the tee.
But that brute force approach doesn't work here.
It helps, but it's not the answer. The analysis shows that Riviera rewards complete shot making and scrambling control. You can't just overpower this place because of the doglegs and the trees.
Oh, if you bomb at 330 but you're on the wrong side of the fairway.
You might not have a shot at the green. You're blocked out.
That's a huge distinction. So looking at the 2025 stats is basically comparing apples to oranges.
Exactly. The source material is very clear. Throw it out. To predict this year's winner, we are dissecting the 2024 strokes gained data, the year Hideki Matsuyama won at -17. That's the real blueprint.
Okay, let's get into the weeds of that blueprint then. Usually when we do these deep dives, the headline is always approach play. You know, it's a ball striker's paradise. Is that the case here?
Yes and no. And this is where the data gets really interesting. This was the biggest aha moment for me in the research.
Ooh, okay. Lay it on me.
So, approach play your iron shots is the platform. You have to be good. In 2024, guys who finished high, like Tom Hoagie and Will Zalatoris, were absolutely flushing it. Hoagie was gaining plus 1.7 strokes per round on approach.
That's gaining almost 2 shots on the field just with your irons every single day. That's absurd.
It's world class, right. But here's the twist. The winner, Matsuyama, he was only gaining plus 0.51 on approach.
Wait, really? So the guy holding the trophy was just, what, slightly better than average with his irons that week?
He was solid, but he wasn't lapping the field. The stat that separated the winner from everyone else was around the green play, scrambling.
Okay, define that for us.
Yeah.
When we say strokes gained around the green, what are we actually measuring?
We're measuring what happens when you miss the green. Are you chipping it to 3 feet for a tap-in par, or are you chunking it, leaving it 12 feet short and making bogey?
Got it.
Matsuyama gained plus 1.458 strokes per round around the greens. Scotty Scheffler, who finished in the top 10, gained plus 1.752 in that same category.
Wow. That is a massive reliance on the short game. Why here? Why does Riviera favor scramblers so much more than other courses?
It goes right back to the architecture. The small, firm greens, the shaved runoff areas. Even the best iron player in the world is going to miss greens here. It's just inevitable.
So it's a defensive metric. You need the shield, not just the sword.
Precisely. When you do miss, you're dealing with tight lies on Kikuyu, or you're in a bunker that's deeper than you are tall. The analysis says that recovery skill determines the scoring ceiling.
Basically, if you can't get up and down, you can't win.
You can be the best iron player in the world, but if you're bleeding strokes every time you miss a green, Riviera will just eat you alive.
What about putting? With the bumpy POA, I assume that matters, but is it the main thing?
It helps, for sure. Luke List and Patrick Cantlay both putted great in 2024, and we're right there. But the key takeaway is you can't be just a putter. You can't be a guy who sprays it everywhere and just hopes to make a bunch of 40-footers.
Because the greens are too bumpy to rely on that.
Exactly. The variance is too high. You need what the report calls balanced excellence.
Balanced excellence. I like that. It sounds like a corporate buzzword, but it actually makes sense here.
It really does. We aren't looking for a specialist. We're looking for a generalist, a Swiss Army knife.
So if we're building the perfect Riviera player profile, what's on the checklist?
Okay, so if you have your fantasy lineup open, here's what you need. First, significant gains, tee to green. The data says you need at least plus 1.3 strokes in that category just to contend.
So you got to be hitting ball well, period.
Right. Second, and this is non-negotiable, above average strokes gain. Around the green. You cannot have a weakness there. If a guy is ranked 100th in scrambling this season, just cross him off.
Even if he's a great ball striker.
Especially if he's a great ball striker.
Yeah.
Because he is going to miss greens, and if he can't chip, he's going home Friday.
Got it. What else is on the list?
Third, comfort on Poa Annua. It's a specific skill. Some guys, mostly from the West Coast, they grew up on it, they get it. Other guys just mentally crumble when a good putt bounces offline.
And off the tee. Bomber's paradise or no?
It's a bonus, but not a necessity. It's more about avoiding the big miss. You want to be in the fairway, even if you're 20 yards behind the longest hitter.
That's so interesting. It feels like every other week we're just told to bet on the longest drivers. Riviera is the one place that says, no, show me your touch.
It's an old school test in a modern game.
So let's make this actionable. How do we use this profile to actually, win some money?
Okay, for the casual bettor, you want to prioritize current all-around form. Don't just look at who won last week. Look at the data. Who is gaining strokes across the board?
And look for course history, right? It
Yeah.
feels like the same names pop up here every single year.
Huge. Riviera history is incredibly sticky. That means guys who play well here tend to play well here year after year. It's a course that rewards knowledge.
So if a guy has missed the cut here 3 times in a row, don't talk yourself into it.
Exactly. He just doesn't see the course well.
Now what about for DFS? For cash games versus the big tournaments?
It does change. For cash games, you want that high floor. You want those balanced excellence guys we talked about. The guys who make cuts.
Safe.
Right. But for tournaments, you need upside. The tip here is to look for elite ball strikers who are showing a recent upward trend in their short game.
So, find the guy who's usually an iron machine but a terrible chipper, and who, for the last 2 weeks, suddenly has positive scrambling stats.
Bingo! That is the secret sauce. Because you know the ball striking will be there. If he's found something with the wedge, even just for a little while, that's how you get a winner at low ownership.
That is a great nugget. What about live betting? What should people look for on Thursday and Friday?
This is crucial. Because Riviera is tough. The leaderboard stays compressed. We're not seeing guys get to minus 25. So if your guy is 4 or 5 shots back after round 2, do not tear up the ticket.
He's still in it?
Very much still in it. The leader can make a couple of bogeys and the whole field bunches up again. Patience is rewarded for bettors here.
And I'm guessing we need to watch the weather, especially the wind, and how it affects those POA greens.
Always. If the wind picks up in the afternoon, the greens dry out and get even bumpier, the afternoon wave scoring average can just skyrocket.
So checking the tee times could be a tiebreaker.
Absolutely, the little 1% edges.
Okay, so zooming out, it really feels like Riviera stands alone on the schedule. It's a thinking player's course.
That's the theme in all our notes. It requires precision, patience, and recovery, not just brute force.
You look at the past champions, Matsuyama, Rahm, Homa, Adam Scott, even Bubba, who's a bomber, but he's an artist. He shapes the ball.
Exactly. These are guys who can grind out a par when they need to. You don't see flukes win at Riviera.
The course exposes you.
If you have a hole in your game, physical or mental, Riviera will find it.
So before we wrap, where are we off to next?
After Riviera, we head east. The tour kicks off the Florida swing next week at PGA National for the Cognizant Classic.
Oh boy, the bear trap.
The bear trap. So we go from Kikuyu and hills to Bermuda grass and water hazards everywhere. A totally different challenge, but it also punishes mistakes just as severely.
So this week is a great warm-up for the mental grind ahead.
It is. If your head isn't in the game here, you're going to get crushed in Florida too.
I love it. You know, as we close this out, I'm thinking about that Hogan's Alley legacy. We spend so much time now talking about ball speed and smash factor. Everyone wants to hit at 350 yards.
It's the modern game.
It is, but isn't it kind of refreshing that at one of the best courses in the world, the old school skill of scrambling, of just getting the ball in the hole when things go wrong, is still what separates the champion from everyone else.
Yeah, it's validating, honestly. It proves golf isn't just a simulator game. It's played on living grass.
It's a game of misses.
Exactly. And the player who manages those misses the best is the one who holds the trophy.
I think that's the perfect place to leave it. Thank you all for listening to this deep dive. Use the blueprint, fade the one-dimensional players, and good luck with your picks. We'll catch you on the next one.
Happy watching!